Okay, I'm going to talk about the ICE shooting. Jonathan Ross, the agent, shot dead a woman who was protesting, who was impeding a ICE operation about 2 weeks ago. So these are the facts. The woman parked horizontally across a road, which allowed traffic to pass on either side of her car, but it was obviously designed and intended to slow traffic and impede the ICE operation. Jonathan Ross, the agent, arrived first. He parked his car behind her, partially boxing her in, and he proceeded to walk out of the car. Although the roads looked icy, it wasn't very thick snow. He didn't seem to have any trouble walking quickly without any problems, not sliding, doesn't seem to have any problems walking around fast. He took a video of her car, of her, and even interacted verbally with the driver and the driver's lesbian lover. And about maybe a minute later, another 2 ICE agents arrived at the scene. They parked at least 15 feet away. They came out and walked purposefully towards the driver. And they already were barking orders loudly to tell her to get out of the car, with an expletive, with an F-bomb dropped in for good measure. And one of the agents walked briskly up to the driver's side and attempted to open her door, which failed, and she proceeded to back up and then drive forward. Jonathan Ross was in front of the car from the time the agents, his fellow agents, arrived at the scene and walked towards the car barking orders. So from the time the agents barked orders to the time the car started to back up was at least 2 seconds. And another 2 seconds from the instant the car was, Renee's car was backing up to the point it was going forward, was another 2 seconds. And he made no attempt to move from the time his fellow agents came in and started barking orders and obviously trying to detain her. 4 seconds to react, and he chose to remain near the front of the car. At the point the car was moving fast forward, he was to the driver's left, not directly in front, but to the driver's left, or just in the sweet spot where it would hit that he would suffer a glancing blow if she was turning to the right to get away from the scene. Okay, that showed that he had very poor tactical awareness. Anybody with military training, police training, right? And especially if his role was to just to videotape and have videotape, to have video evidence, there was no need to detain her. If she was driving off, let her drive off, because you can always arrest her later. You can always let either you arrest her or the police arrest her later, because you have video footage of her impeding traffic and obstructing an ICE operation. Okay, to me, it was very clear to me, this is my personal opinion, that Jonathan Ross, the agent, intended to shoot her the minute she started, the agents tried to arrest her and she started to move forward. If I were Jonathan Ross, okay, if I were Jonathan Ross, and I have military training, okay, I would, the minute I saw my fellow agents walk towards her and bark orders, I would have cleared the area far, far away and continue filming. If my fellow agents managed to detain her and arrest her, so be it, I come and help. If they didn't and she drive off, I'll let them drive off. I will not try to detain. I will not remain anywhere near the car. He had 4 seconds to react, because I count the time where his fellow agent walked towards the car and started barking orders. that would have alerted him immediately that an escape attempt by the driver would be imminent. He had 4 seconds, and even you don't count the initial 2 seconds. From the second he can see the car back up and started moving forward, so another 2 seconds. Well enough time for him to go out of the way. There's no argument to say that the road conditions were not safe for him to walk briskly away. Okay, because you can see from the video, the few videos circulating around, he had no problem walking around the car. He doesn't seem to be unsteady on his feet. Okay, and also if you consider the fact that 6 months before this lethal shooting, he was dragged by another car when he tried to grab the driver, and he suffered, I think, broken ribs and a broken leg, pretty severe. Okay, so given his history, he should be hyper alert if he's filming a protester's car. Right? The minute his fellow agent came in and started barking orders, he should have hightailed it out of there. Plenty of time. No excuse at all. He shows remarkably poor tactical and situational awareness. He positioned himself in a spot where if he was driving off and turning away, he would suffer a glancing blow and he can claim self-defense, and he intended to shoot her. And after he shot her, he said effing bitch. Okay, I'm being cynical, but that's my honest attempt, because maybe my standard of an agent, or agent, either a military or police or any sort of law enforcement thingy agent, my standards for your training and behavior must be very high, especially if you are in America. Appallingly poor tactical and situational awareness displayed by Jonathan Ross. I think he should be prosecuted, because I think the evidence shows that there is a reasonable case to say that he deliberately stayed in that area, and he did not make any attempt to ensure his own safety. There was no need to detain her at all. Okay, if the other agent didn't manage to detain her, so be it. Let her go. You have her video. You have her face. You have her face on your video. You have her number plates. Okay, she cannot get away. You can send the police after her. There's no need to escalate the situation by staying there, knowing full well she would have attempted to escape. Terrible situation. But I don't know. I think I don't think I don't think the American justice system will prosecute him, given the current political climate. And by the way, I'm not pro-Democrat. If I'm American, I'll definitely vote Republican. But this is a shockingly poor judgment, poor tactical awareness, poor situational awareness by the ICE agent Jonathan Ross. Given the fact that he has been dragged by a car 6 months before, it's all the more show that how poorly trained he is.